What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm gonna show y'all how I got these nails today, and we're gonna get right into the video. So first I went ahead and I did the butterfly nail, which is the pinky nail. And before I started recording, I already prepped my natural nails and added everything. And if you want to see how I do that, there is a video in the description box below that I recorded. But for here, I'm just going through, and I don't need to put a layer on the natural nail because I'm just using the clear anyways. I'm not using any pigmented colors. So I'm just putting a little bit of clear to attach the butterflies to, and then I'll go ahead and encapsulate that nail right away so that the glitter doesn't fall off or anything. Just, get out the way. For this nail, I'm doing a ombre with this kind of milky-ish white, and I believe that's Prettiest Pink that I'm using. All of my stuff is from Valentino. Also, I have everything that I use down in the description box below if you want to see. But for ombre, you just want to start at the tip and work your way up and slowly brush it up towards the cuticle. And then when you go in with the second color, you want to start where the first color ended and just slowly work your way downward, or brush it downward, but you're working your way up to the cuticle, if that makes sense. And I'll do the ombre on this finger and the thumb, and then you'll see me encapsulate both of those later on. This finger will be just the plain milky white color, so I'm just going in, and all of these colors are cover powders, so I don't need to put a layer on the natural nail first or do a encapsulation, but I will do the encapsulation on ombre, and I'll explain why when I do that. But as far as this, I'm just going in with my regular application. I did the thumb before the pointer finger just to get it out of the way so it can dry, so I can encapsulate it, because the pointer finger is going to be the most difficult finger, which is the flame. I went ahead and encapsulated the ring finger, the ombre finger first. And the reason I encapsulate ombre is because they're both cover powders, but it's kind of like the application kind of gets off. You can't really make it even when you're doing ombre. It's super hard. So the crystal clear I use just to level everything out and get the apex right and just have the application looking good. For the flame stickers, I put it on my tweezer right there just to have it ready. Then I took a little bit of the crystal clear and applied it. And then I right away put the flame on. And I kind of used the tweezers to push the flame into the acrylic while it was drying. And I think it's kind of easier to do it once the acrylic starts to dry and gets a little sticky. Because if it's still wet, it's just going to pop right back up. So that's what I did. And then I went ahead and encapsulated it right away. And I did start from the cuticle area with this application and worked my way down just to make sure that it was encapsulated correctly and got everything in there, if that makes sense. Then, of course, I went and didn't forget about the thumb. I went ahead and encapsulated the thumb. And with encapsulations, you kind of want to make sure that the crystal clear is super thin because you already have something underneath. Of course, it's your regular application. You just want to make it a little bit thinner because it's already thick enough, you know? You don't want to make it too thick. Then for shaping, I like to go in with my hand file first, and I go directly along the side, and I try to stay as straight as possible. And if anything, you kind of want to lean inwards to get more of a sharp shape. I'll explain it when I do a shaping video sometime soon. But then I like to go underneath a little bit, and that's just to clean up. Because sometimes the acrylic can get little pieces stuck underneath. So that's just to clean up the underneath, make sure that's straight. Then I go at the edge like I just did. And I like to go up and down instead of side to side because side to side makes it much more like messed up. But going up and down makes it much more straighter so you don't mess up as easily. Then I like to go over the top of the nail like I am about to start right here. And this is just to get any bumps or anything out and make everything much more even. And I like to also touch it up with the e-file, which I'll explain when I get to that part. Like I mentioned, I just go through with my e-file, and then I go around the cuticle area just to take some of that down, because you do want it to look like it's flowing from the cuticle area, very natural looking. And then I will go just down the nail to fix any bumps, any dents, anything that might be in there, and then also to get all of these scratches out that the hand file left. I also like going underneath like I just did, because sometimes when you encapsulate, it gets a little thick, so that just leaves the nail a little bit thinner. And I'll just go across the edge if I need to, just to get a straighter edge like I am right here. Then I'll go in with my buffer, and I like to buff with the hard side and then the soft side, just to give a smoother surface on the nail. Once I'm done with all my shaping, I go through and brush all of the dust that I can off, and then I'll use some rubbing alcohol and spray it on the nails and wipe it off. And this is just an alternative to washing the client's hands and just getting all of that particle off. The client wanted a 99 on her finger, so I went ahead and used black polish, regular polish from OPI, which is my favorite nail polish. And I'm going in with this nail brush from my local nail supply store, and I kind of just drew the outline of the numbers first just to get it down. And then I went through, that's my daughter, sorry. And then I went through and thickened it out just to give that more of a look. And I have my acetone right here just to clean my brush off while I'm working, because you do want to maintain a clean brush and not let the dry polish stay on there, because it'll mess up the design. And I like to use the base color as acrylic instead of polish, because I can use acetone to clean up the design if I mess up. But if I use polish behind the design, I can't use the alcohol or the acetone, because it'll mess up the background color too, if that makes sense. So I like to just plan ahead, make sure I'm doing everything good. And I also will use the acetone, like I just mentioned, to clean up the design, which you'll see. And then, of course, I'm doing everything that I'm doing here on the other hand as well. The client also wanted a little diamond on the 2 ombre fingers, so I went ahead and took my gummy jelly from Nail Couture and put a tiny bit on both of the fingers. If I was doing a full nail, I would do one nail at a time, but since it's just one, I went ahead and did both at a time. I'm using my top coat from Valentino, putting that on top of the gummy jelly, and then applying the diamond. Once I do that to both fingers, I will go ahead and top coat the rest of the fingers. And I did use my Holy Grail top coat, which is a shellac gel top coat, on top of the 99 because I use regular polish. And that gel top coat actually doesn't mess up regular polish, whereas other gel top coats do. So I did use that, and then I'll cure everything for 60 seconds. The shellac gel top coat is a wipe coat, so I do have to spray it with alcohol and wipe it down once it's cured. But then, of course, I just go ahead with my cuticle oil and rub that all in, and then we be all finished. These came out super cute birthday nails. I love these so much, and I just want to say thank y'all for watching. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and share to a friend.